Hey, what's going on, guys? Alex Perez here with England Sports Center, and today we're going to talk about light tackle jigging for blue cats. You heard it right, jigging for blue cats. But before we start, remember we have this sale coming up here, April 13th. There's going to be some awesome discounts on rods, reels, pretty much everything on the store based on light tackle. If you bring in a trade-in, functional trade-in, you will receive an extra 10% off for your purchase of a rod, reel, or a combo. So make sure to stop by on the sale the 13th. Let's get to it. So, we're going to talk about location. We're going to talk about what this is all about, and I'm sure some of you haven't heard about it. Some of you might have. A lot of guys in some of the rivers here in the area, Potomac, Patuxent, some of the rivers that have a little more current have been jigging for blue cats for a little while now. Hasn't been like a thing that a lot of people have picked up on until the closure for rock fishing. So now that everybody's doing for an option on something else to do in the month of April, that's how I found out about it. Went out with one of the local guides down in the Potomac, Mr. Doug, Captain Doug, and, got to see how they do this and have been kind of doing it on and off since then. Long story short, it's pretty much almost comparable to flounder fishing, where you want to keep contact of the line vertical as you're drifting, and you want to bounce it. So all you're doing is lifting a couple inches off the bottom and bouncing your jig along the bottom, whether, there could be rocks, stumps, whatever. You will need a couple extra jigs because you will sacrifice a few of these. Now, the lighter tackle will be better. So the same stuff we're utilizing for rockfish is the same stuff that you're going to use out here for these blue cats. Now, if you're out here in the bay, let's say right at Pedickery Point right now, you could set up a drift throughout the drop-offs and just do the same thing, maintaining contact. So you're going to be using a little bit heavier jigs than the stuff we use for rockfish normally in the summer. So to start off, we're going to talk about locations, and I briefly mentioned this. The Potomac River from Fletcher's Cove all the way down towards the airport's a good area. If you're fishing in the Patuxent anywhere from Jug Bay and up, you can drift through there and try that out. If you're fishing here in the bay, I will say anywhere from the Bay Ridge Pilings towards some of these points like Pedickery Point, Hackett's Point, any hard structure area where there's rocks or a drop-off, you can try this out as long as you have some sort of current. So obviously tides play a big factor on this, and the speed. If there is a point where you might get to be a little too fast, so keep an eye on the tides. I will say if you're going above like 2 knots, a little bit too fast, you can slow it down if you have a trolling motor, but those are some of the areas and some of the things to look out for. This is the essential stuff for you guys. As we were talking about, jigs are going to be a little bit heavier based on the current. So if you're having a day where there's not a lot of current, it's a little bit slower, 1 ounce jigs will work. Obviously, if you get to some of these areas where there's a lot more current, 1.5, 2 ounces is going to be some of the jigs that you might need. Potentially even a 3 ounce if it's that fast of a current. Now, plastics. This is, for my personal experience, what I found out to have the most success with are the curly tails. They give it a lot of motion when you're moving them up and down, which some of these blue cats really key into. But the most important thing here is the scent. So as you're looking at it here, gulp, it's not going to be as durable. You might get a 1 or 2 fish on each one of them, but they really get attracted because of the scent. Remember, catfish are bottom feeders, so that's what they love. Right over here, we have these curly tails, the dormatadors, which are super stretchy with that elastic, but you want to add scent to it, and this is what we use here. Personally, the Menhaden Procure was my #1 go-to last year when I was fishing some of the rivers here. Gulp. Once again, you can use these spray bottles to add to your other plastics or even recharge a Gulp. And this is new, which I'm going to be trying here soon, the bait fuel. See how they like it. But you want to use that stuff every so often. Every 10 minutes or so, just reload. Once again, tackle. We're using the same stuff as we're using everywhere for rockfish. 6'6" medium, 7-foot medium, 3,000 size reel. Pretty light stuff. 15-pound braid to 20-pound braid. That's all you need, guys. So it's not difficult. Get out there, try it out. Believe me, you're going to have so much fun catching these catfish from artificials, jigging, something new, something different. Give it a shot. Obviously, help out, get rid of those blue cats. Keep every single one of them, and make sure to stop by for that sale coming up here on the 13th. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time.